Hello, Drunkduckers. This is Ozone Ocean. With me are Baines and Tantz. Hello.
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 Coming through loud and clear. Beautiful. Okay, and my cat Mouse wants to be on the Quackcast as well, as usual. So. Mouse, come on.
He has a right.
Yes, he wants this whole Quackcast to be about him as the guest star. Oh my god, really, Mouse? That's scandalous. You can't say that on the Quackcast. Oh my god. They'll ban us for that kind of language. He's a very silly boy. So Tantz did a news post a couple of weeks ago called Feedback, and it was about this website called Hiveworks, which was a sort of a webcomic promotional website that had a bunch of webcomickers on there, and then criticized them and stole their money and all this kind of stuff with the pretense of promoting them and things, managing them basically, but managing them really badly. And we're going to talk about the idea of feedback and sites who do this kind of thing and exclusivity and all that kind of stuff.
And red flags, like when you get certain types of feedback, maybe, think twice.
Yeah. So when I call Mouse a beautiful little handsome boy, he gets very happy. I don't call him a naughty little shit. All right. Okay, so we'll go on to their theme song. So now we're going to be talking about the featured comic. Featured comic was a comic that I featured this week. What was it? It was called Gruner the Barbarian. So, yeah, listen to me tell you about Gruner the Barbarian. Hello, I'm Ozone Ocean, and my feature for the week was Gruner the Barbarian. Gruner is a tough, sexy, and highly skilled barbarian warrior woman. She's green-skinned, pneumatically curvy, beautiful, and with the strength of 5 frost giants. She's a match for even the biggest foes with her magic-talking sword, Infuzella. No one can stand against her fury and determination, not giant rats, huge spiders, or huge greedy ogres. This is a sword and sorcery fantasy story action adventure with a bit of comedy. It's all digital art, full bright colour with lots and lots of fan service. As Gruner shows off her skimpily clad self in all of her action poses. Yes, this is a very sexy comic, but it doesn't go over the line. It's very good at not straying over the line, but being extremely sexy and being very fun and action adventure-y and having very, very, very sexy poses. Fantasy and comedy, all that kind of stuff thrown together, and it's a lot of fun. And very well drawn. I hope you enjoy Gruner the Barbarian. It's by Skip Presents, and it's rated M for mature. That was Gruner the Barbarian, so I hope you have a look at that. It's a bit raunchy, but not explicit. It's just a very kind of sexy comic, so there you go. It's a fun one. Alright, so now, the music Gumballs has not given us a theme, so it's a best of Gumballs. And this week, the best of Gumballs is Through the Window. So this is flamenco, Latin, fast-stepping, toe-tapping, heel-stomping to the powerful rhythm that wants to get your body up and moving, swaying and spinning on the dance floor, shimmying with your partner, fast and intense. So take it away, Gumballs, with Through the Window. like that. Best of Gummullers? Alright, so now the actual topic. So yes, Tantz did this news post 2 weeks ago about, well, it's 1 week ago, I suppose. Not 2 weeks, but...
I think 2 weeks.
Is it? Alright, I'll go with what you say.
Yeah, I think I wrote like 2 articles for 2 Saturdays. So yeah.
Yes, you are right. It's the 17th of January.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Tantz wrote this thing about the Hiveworks and the whole kerfuffle there. And one of them, I mean, they did a lot of bad stuff because, you know, they're meant to be promoting, managing webcomics, and they're calling these webcomicers, you know, like they're criticizing their work and stuff like that, and they're withholding funds and controlling them and stuff like that. But the main thing we were going to talk about was the fact that the bad things they said to these webcomicers. So, Tantz, what was that? They were like criticizing them and...
Yeah, they were quote unquote giving feedback, and that's why I liked that article on feedback. But in reality, what they were doing was that they were attacking them and undermining their confidence as artists, and also telling them that their work was subpar in various ways.
Yeah.
And that they were not basically actually worthy of being signed on to Hiveworks, because they had to pitch their webcomic to, and like, you didn't just create an account and voila, you are part of Hiveworks. You would have to pitch your webcomic and get approved. And then once they were approved, apparently, what happened was that they were told that, yeah, we approved you, but we don't actually really like your work. We think that it's not good enough. Out of the goodness of our heart, we are going to help you come into your, maybe not even your potential, because they didn't actually tell them that they had potential. It's just that I could maybe help you not be complete trash if you do exactly what I tell you to.
Yeah.
So that was the general theme of the feedback, quote unquote.
Fantastic help they gave them there.
Yeah. And they often demanded to vet the covers that the artists would create for their own webcomics. Like, no, you will not make the cover like this, you will make it like that. Or you have to ship these 2 characters. Never mind that it is not part of your plot. Or you don't have...
Really?
Yeah. You don't have shippable characters, which means that you will never be popular. So you'd better create, shippable characters, as if the internet waits for characters to be shippable to ship them.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And you have to create a side comic, leave your main comic and create this side comic with these characters, which they have to have this exact thing happening there. So basically they sort of reached out like a gigantic tentacle, and they snaked around this whole creative process and had this iron grip on it. And the whole thing was because I am the expert in this show business world, and I will tell you exactly how you can make it, because otherwise there's no way that you can make it. And
Wow.
that's how things went down. And the incredible thing was that they had extremely top tier artists, gorgeous work, like work that you look at and you feel, at least I get imposter syndrome when I look at that artist. Oh my God, these are actual webcomic artists, not like me, the amateur, Um, and like these were people that had already worked in animation, or they were actual professionals in the industry, and they were being told this sort of thing. And the amazing, like other amazing thing was that they bought it, in the sense that they had their confidence crushed. They felt that they were the only ones singled out of everyone else that was on board and part of Hiveworks, that they were the ones that were not good enough, and that's why they were receiving this type of treatment. And the reason that they thought that, and that is another element, was that the whole way that this Hiveworks thing was arranged was that there was no intercommunication between the artists, and no real communication between anyone but the top tier people that were the ones directing everything, and the artists. It was all only vertical communication, not horizontal in a sense. So uh, as soon as that stopped and artists started talking to each other, that's when they realized that everyone was getting this treatment, and everyone was being told the same thing, and everyone was um, uh, dealing with the same issues of I'm being controlled, my stuff isn't being worked on as I was promised. Even when I do the things that they tell me, my Kickstarters are I have not seen the money from my Kickstarter campaign.
Wow. Okay. So they have managed their Kickstarter campaigns. Whoa.
Like they were acting sort of like agents in a sense. At least that's how I would imagine an agent to act. Like they were doing all the design for the websites. They were doing, or at least they said they were doing that, and they were doing all the design for the Kickstarter campaigns, and they had to be approved, and they had to run it. The artists shouldn't be doing anything on their own, that sort of thing.
Jeez. That's bad.
Mm.
And is it questionable who owns the work? Like, did these artists lose
No, that at least
ownership? Oh, that's good. Anyway.
yeah, at least they kept full ownership of their own work, and that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was heartbreaking in a sense when I read it, and that's why I wrote the article, because you have to be. I mean, as artists, we put ourselves out there. It's inevitable that you will get feedback.
Yeah.
In the form of comments, various people telling you all sorts of things. And you have to be able to sort through it all, and not let yourself be crushed by malignant people. And it's not just, I mean, it could be just someone that uh, gets a kick out of leaving toxic reviews. But it could also be someone that wants to manipulate you into basically milking you, quote unquote, like making you work for them in a sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I wrote the article, because we often do not keep that in mind. It's like, oh, if someone's giving me feedback, it's probably objective. Especially if it's negative. Like at least in my case, I take the negative feedback a lot more seriously than the positive one.
Yeah.
So, and that should not be the case. It should be taken equally. Like if you're given praise, nobody is obliged to praise you, so they have this. You inspire them to praise you, so that is one kind of feedback. And if they tell you, this sucks, you have to see whether there is some kind of truth that you can use, or you should just toss it, because either they are not your audience, or they are trying to do something else that has nothing to do with your art. Yeah.
Right.
It's a minefield, and there are a lot of sharks.
Yeah. And I have to say, at any moment, please step in and take me away from my soapbox. But I really felt so proud of our community because we actually do that sort of thing. Not the bringing down the confidence, but the building up artists and embracing artists exactly as who they are and who they want to be. And um, I mean, in the 20 years or whatever, how many years we have been around, and I have only seen support and, and a true desire to showcase art, to find unique art, to have diverse art. Um, and
I think it's 24 years now.
oh wow.
Wow.
I think I joined around 2000, late 2005, early 2006, somewhere there. So ever since at least I was part of the duck, it's been amazing. And there have been waves of people trying to do the whole toxic feedback thing on the duck, and they never last. The community just expels them, like like the body expels something like a foreign body. So,
It's more like it just doesn't work. It just like dries up.
yeah,
People have like movements or campaigns to go, okay, so we're going to be like the honest feedback group, and we'll give everybody honest feedback, and that will help improve them. And it doesn't go off well. And some people go, yes, please, this is fantastic, this will help me. But it just dries up in the end because they realize, oh my god, this is so much work for me that I'm doing unpaid. These stupid reviews. And no one appreciates it anyway, so why should I keep on doing it?
yeah, and it's not only usually if it is. I mean, there are, like, for example, take a Jinjok that has cycles of reviews. Most of the reviews, if not all, are reviews meant to help, and I like them. And but there, what I was thinking about was, I mean, somewhere around, I want to say 2010s, 2011, maybe around there. There were these waves of users that were completely foreign to our Drunkduck culture, and we were, oh, I'm gonna tell it like it is and give it to you raw, like, and it was always unsolicited, very negative feedback um, by users that could not take what they were dishing out by them usually.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
When they got
And
called out, they'd say, "Oh, but I'm doing a service. So you
yeah,
shouldn't come back."
or if someone went to give them unsolicited feedback, it's like, how could you do this to me? Like, I am. I when I was drawing this, my hand was in a cast, and I was drawing like while hanging upside down from my orthopedic sitting in the hospital, and how could you tell me that it's not good enough? That's sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these people never lasted on the duck. So I'm very proud of us for this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that's the kind of culture here. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And I like how Gene Joke does his reviews too. Like he would do surprise reviews, but they were very positive and sort of kept it light. And if someone asked for a review, it would be a little different. It'd be a little more like they would talk about like things to improve or issues or whatever because someone asked for a review, and
I thought they had also done like some sort of comedy nasty review thing they was doing.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah, but that was
Archivast or something.
Yeah, that was comedic though. I mean, does it count? It was not meant to be taken seriously. But yeah, I mean, that was not something I would dabble in. I feel it's very, like when you give feedback, you hold someone's baby in your hands, and you shouldn't crush it. Even if there is something that you feel could be done better, there are ways of giving this feedback in an empowering way to make them actually better.
Yeah, constructive.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, I like a roast. If someone is submitting to it, I wouldn't mind it. But I mean, it just probably wouldn't fit in on the duck very well.
No.
Yeah.
It's so easy to devolve into something that becomes hurtful. I mean, even if someone says, "Oh yeah, roast my comic," if someone actually does roast the comic, it's not necessarily that this person that the roastee is going to walk away having had fun.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think that it would be something that our community supports. I mean,
no, it wouldn't really work. Yeah.
And I do find that on the duck, everyone can thrive and everyone can create their own niche. And especially now that I have been doing these theme month features for Blue Sky, I have to find, and I am not the one that finds most of the stuff. Drunkduckers submit titles to me, and I just feature them, and which is an amazing, community feature work. I think is very, very unique. But having now, to go to this comic, pick a nice page or pin up or what have you, to make a hook, like a log line, to get people to click on it and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for you.
It's fun. It's fun. The only thing is that sometimes, especially this period of my life, some days are super hectic. So then I end up like dumping 3 titles in one day, like that, in one, which I'm very sorry about. But I have seen it doesn't really hurt. Like people do get their clicks either way, so it works so far, at least. But anyway, the point was that there is such wealth of art and storytelling on our site. It's amazing, and there are like niche art, like subcategories that I would never imagine would exist. Like I wouldn't even have to look for them, which is amazing that I have other people submitting work, because otherwise I wouldn't actually know how to freaking search for the thing. And I wouldn't find it. And I think that the reason that we do have this immense diversity is that we do not have this culture of your work is bad and you should feel bad. That used to be, so cool.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
And I love that about us. I fall in love with the duck more and more every day that I do this thing. Yeah.
The whole culture of your work is bad, and you should feel bad. Thing always struck me as being just so immature and lame.
Yeah.
Like, shut the hell up and, grow up.
Exactly.
You shouldn't even be on the internet if you're behaving that way.
Exactly. Thank you. My that's the stance I absolutely share.
It's just so like I think that's more the attitude of what we have now these days, isn't it? Because most people don't share creations these days; they just share themselves, and and that's all. It's the only thing they're going to share, like on Facebook or Instagram or Blue Sky or whatever. They're not sharing images they create; they share photos of food and whatever. It's.
I would say on Blue Sky there is a lot of art sharing going on.
Okay.
It would be I would even call it like a haven for artists, at least so far. So far so good, because all these things can change at the drop of a hat. All it takes is someone to buy Blue Sky, and then suddenly you get stuff happening. But for now, as it is, it is very welcoming to art. Like my feed has a lot of art and also a lot of politics, because that's what I'm interested in. But if you are like solely very, very super dedicated to just art, you will get art for days on Blue Sky, which is great. That's why I really like for the duck to have an account on Blue Sky rather than anywhere. So
yeah.
And then with the daily comics going up as features, that's quite amazing. So it's constant art being posted by you on the Duck channel. That's great.
Yeah.
And it's a romance month, February, right?
Yeah. February absolutely has to be romance month. So I'm going to start posting exactly what I almost never write. Or even
but what you secretly want to write.
Yeah. Well, there's probably going to be some romance in Verdant. There has to be, by definition. I mean, there is one couple that is going to be happening, but it's not going to be central at all. Like it wouldn't qualify for romance for a long time. Yeah, I mean, now we just finished the historical month, and I also have to say something else. Like in the beginning of January, that was a historical month. I was feeling very like exhausted, mentally and physically exhausted, and I couldn't find titles very easily. There were not many contributors as well, because historical webcomics generally, I mean, you would think there weren't as many. And I wrote like a post whining about it on the general, like saying like, oh, you don't give me any titles, and nobody would talk about the thin math, and this is demoralizing, and help basically. And the duckers helped, and I got like especially by John Celestri and then Cascade, but also everybody else that I thank on Blue Sky today, because today is the wrap up, or at least today that we are recording is the wrap up. When you hear this, we are going to be into Romance Month. The I got exactly like 30 titles.
Wow.
It was amazing, and that's like our community is the best, and I absolutely love you guys. And I expected to be told like you don't like it, just don't do it, but no, people just stepped up and helped me.
Sweet.
So I am very, very thankful for this, and yes, and especially thank you, John Celestri, for being the first to step up and give me all these titles, and then cascade. Thank you. So,
Nice.
He's a good egg, John
He is.
Silvestri.
Yeah.
A good man, that one. Good man. Yeah, well, I mean, being part of communities that criticize you like that is not a pleasant thing. It's demoralizing and gets you down and makes you have imposter syndrome and criticize yourself and stuff like that. Like I was talking to Tantz and Danes before about how, like, I mean, back in the days, in the early 2000s, in basically 2000, I had my artwork up on Elfwood, and Tantz had hers on there too.
Yeah.
Which was a massive fantasy art site. I think it was based in Sweden or Norway or something like this, probably Norway. It's managed by this guy, I can't remember his name. Anyway, it was all, Scandinavia. And it was fantasy art only, and then for a while later they finally allowed sci-fi art, but it had to be completely separate. And some other art sites followed their lead, because Elfwood was the main art site back then. There weren't any others. And later on, this other art site called Epilogue came about, and that was only for you had to be really professional in your artwork, and you couldn't just post your artwork on there if you had an account. It'd have to be submitted, like what Tantz was talking about with his Hiveworks. And you had basically professional artists on there, and I had my artwork on there as well, and quite a few pieces. But submitting it to there was such a demoralizing process, because they would, your artwork is on here for free. They're not paying you for your artwork on there, but they're behaving as if they are, and they're reviewing it and all this kind of stuff, and saying, oh, this isn't good enough, and oh, that needs changes, or go back and fix this before we'll display it, and things like that. So
right.
that was quite a demoralizing process. It wasn't initially like that, but it became like that because I think the wankers were drawn to it. As wankers are.
I love that. That should be on a cup somewhere,
A tea towel.
Don't draw the wankers in.
Yes. Walk without rhythm, or you'll draw in the wankers.
Yeah. I do think there is it's a bit not exactly human nature, but some kind of aspect of human nature. Now I wield this power. Now I'm going to be a wanker with my power and get, drunk on my own capacity to turn people down, especially people that I might feel are better than me or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you feel they're better than you, then you can make yourself feel really cool by putting them down a peg. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Even that, let's put you down a peg. Why? Get up on your own peg. Leave the other guy's peg alone.
Stop pegging people. I mean, that's not a good thing. Get consent first. That's
exactly. And I remember, when I have said this many times before. When I was in the, I think, late chapter 1, early chapter 2 of Without Moonlight, somewhere around there. I had these people that I these were mostly 99% new users on the site, and they would come to my comments and tell me how terrible I Without Moonlight was.
God. Whoa.
It was a disgrace, and it shouldn't exist. Take it down, that sort of thing. And and back then I was very vulnerable about my art,
Well, even without Moonlight?
What do you mean even without Moonlight? Especially without Moonlight?
Because you'd already been doing Wolf for ages.
Yeah, but when I was doing Wolf, everyone was very happy to see me succeed. Like I never had people tell me that something wasn't good enough. Even when I was given feedback on what to correct, and if you see Wolf, you will see that I needed a lot of correction. I had no idea what I was doing at all. Like now I have a bit more of an idea of what I'm doing, a little bit more. But everyone was saying like, "Oh my God, I really like this." I remember, I don't remember who it was that gave me this feedback, but it was I don't know, someone of the big accounts on the duck, or people that I looked up to, and he wrote. I think it might even have been Jin Joke, but even if it wasn't Jin Joke, it was someone that tier of wow, established duck members when I was doing it. And I remember the comment was if you make this a standardized format of like X amount of panels and do XYZ thing. I don't remember exactly what but the feedback was like keep this thing consistent and make the line work a bit more intense or whatever, and you have a hit.
Oh wow!
Like it was like do this and it's going to be even better. And I wanted to do this to make this even better. It didn't feel like I was being told that I wasn't good enough. That was never the point of the comment. It was, do this and you have a hit. I really like this, and and that's how you get artists to evolve and learn and want to apply themselves more. And
tell them how
yeah,
to do it the right way rather than what they're doing wrong.
I mean, I was being told what I was doing wrong because I was like, if you see the first pages, it's like whatever, man. Like some were just like comic strips, others were like all over the place. There was no, like, you cannot print this thing at all. But I was being told what I wasn't doing wrong, doing right, but in a way of, this is like a format issue. This is an issue that you can easily correct. It's not something that kills the art or the story, and it just needs a bit of adjustment, and that's all there is to it. And if you, I mean, even the most, like if you are, for example, bad at anatomy, and if someone tells you your humans look like they are going to, they have just moved out of the intensive care unit, and nobody can recognize them as humans, and you should stop drawing. That's not going to help. But if you tell this person, like, maybe look at the proportion of the head to shoulders, like, do it this a little bit, and it's going to make your art pop some more. They are likely to at least try, that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. There's helpful feedback, and it's worth so much more.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, coming from someone who knows, if this was a person who had success on the duck, they had good comics or whatever, so they knew what they were talking about. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it was amazing. Honestly, it really made me feel like, okay, if he says this, then maybe I should be a bit more serious about these books and actually try to make them into something that looks like a comic. And I have to go back and find who it was. I mean, it's probably in one of the first few pages somewhere, because I'm not taking down Wolf even if I cringe at everything I see because I love it. It was my first foray into comic making, web comic making. I will never burn my stuff again.
Well,
I kept doing that when I was younger. So, yeah. But the reason I was burning it was because the feedback I used to get from people was like, this is bad and you should feel bad. Like it shouldn't exist in the world. So I was burning it to make it stop from existing.
Wow. Was that like a political issue they had or something? Like,
in Without Moonlight? I'm not
yeah,
sure.
with the early criticism. Oh, really?
I'm not sure. I mean, I did get some weirdos in the very beginning that were expecting some kind of Nazi porn or whatever. I don't know why. Yeah, I got even some PQs that were saying like, when are we going to see more of the whipping? And I was saying like, what? Oh, how can I block you?
Also the she-wolf sort of stuff.
Yeah, but I think that the people that left more like disparaging comments about the art, at least, I don't know what they were trying to do there, because they were just saying like, the way you draw humans is terrible, and the way you draw everything is even worse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm not sure it was political. I mean, it could have been. I don't know. But I think it was just they were being a douche. And that's all.
Yeah.
I
mean, a lot of times when you start getting criticized, if you're not being criticized early, and then later you mentioned you're getting more of that, that can actually be a sign that you're getting somewhere. Like people want to keep you down a peg if you're still low. It's like once you're getting going, that's when people come out and slam you and stuff. Try to knock you in.
Oh, that could happen. I mean, it never crossed my mind at the time. At the time, I was so devastated that I started stopping altogether. Seriously. But I didn't, and I'm glad, because now Without Moonlight is complete. And
amazing.
You're such a solid member of the Drunkduck community that you've gone a lot further. That you wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I would have completely quit. And I also feel that I am in a position to bring up other users and artists that are objectively far better than me. That I love showcasing people that have interesting work, awesome work, gorgeous work. I love it. I love beautiful things. And when I say beautiful things, it could be like, for example, when I was posting the horror month comics, which is like gore and horror and
the worst of the worst.
Yeah, not the worst of it, but it was like there were some that I would not click on again because they were amazing at what they were doing.
Right.
And I felt privileged to be able to be the one to make a little showcase of this amazing work that I cannot look at again. but that was a testament to how good the work is. Because I'm a wuss and I don't like gore. No.
No, I don't either. Though I will feature comics with lots of gore because, I try not to let those things influence me negatively. Because if the work is good enough, it deserves to be featured, no matter what my personal opinion of those things is.
Exactly. And I'm sort of looking forward to Not Suitable for Work Month because I am not someone that I generally do not read porn comics or erotica. But now I will have to, 30 or 31. I don't remember which month it is. 30 or 31 of them. I will have to just check to make sure that they qualify, that they are, part of this category, and also see what the plot is to be able to write the log line. So, my history, my browsing history is going to be very interesting for that.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of quality adult comics on the site that can't be featured, which is a real shame because they look so good and the writing is well done.
And mad props to porn artists for their command of anatomy. Like most of them are masters of anatomy, and making, like, drawing bodies interacting with each other believably. Which is hard. Like I I had to draw like 2 a bit provocative panels in all of Without Moonlight, of sexy times, sort of sexy times, because one was not meant to be sexy. And it was hard. I didn't know how to do it. It was so hard to make it.
It was so hard.
A pun not intended, but glad it happened. And like difficult. It was very difficult to actually draw both, and they were really easy things for I assume for adult webcomic artists. So,
there's other, say, webcomic artists, adult webcomic artists that don't, like prioritize realism. Like, say, Lothar with his I can't remember what his comic's called. Something grind. And he doesn't prioritize realism, but oh my god, his work is so involved and beautifully cartoony and just incredible.
That is also very difficult.
And there's it's called hentai action theater. That's a big one on the dock, right?
Oh yeah, that's done so well.
Yeah, it's well done, really cartoony style.
I haven't seen it yet, but I will when the month goes in.
I'm sure it'll be one of the recommended.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new one that I check out all the new comics that have just joined the site with my admin powers. And just to see, because sometimes there could be spammers or there could be stuff that shouldn't be posted on the site. It's rare, but it happens. Or there could be stuff that deserves a feature in the future. And this latest one called Defrost the Chicken, I'm looking at it now, and it's adult rated, but it doesn't seem to have much in the way of like adult content. But the artwork is really good, so that's a really good comic that unfortunately won't ever be able to be featured because it's adult rated. But worthy of having people look at it.
Wow.
So there we are. Great new work. I think the only obscene thing that I've seen in it so far is there's an angel or a demon that looks like it has a dick for a head.
So a dickhead.
Yes, a dickhead. Exactly, and he was probably in his spare time, telling people how bad their webcomics are. So.
We all know how those look like, so accurate. So.
Incredibly accurate. So there you go. Yeah, but that's one that will should be part of that group. Definitely. So, Baines, we haven't talked about negative feedback you've ever had. Oh, God.
Yeah, there's been very little because I've only really posted on the Duck. I've done a
You
little bit.
post YouTube videos. That was your
I
big
did,
start.
yes, and got practically no comments. This is 15 years ago or whatever it is, and they went unseen. They're still pretty much unseen. I did get one comment one time that just said, "You suck,"
Oh my God.
with a smiley face. And yeah, to underline your point about those like negative comments have more of an impact. It was like bothering me for days that they like all that work and the stuff being bad or not, like just like it gets to you. It's like, oh no, oh no. And I did end up quitting, so there you go.
Well, it worked. Didn't you
Yeah,
have
it worked.
like Dr. Katz, or I don't know his name is, he's a doctor, but you know,
That
the
was
Katz guy?
awesome, man. I subscribed. Sorry.
No, go on.
You can finish first.
Okay, so I don't know, I can't remember his first name is, but yeah, we know him as Dr. Katz because that was the animation that he created, where he plays a psychiatrist or psychologist. I always never get those right. With his son Ben, who is of course the amazing oh god, I don't know the actor's name, but the amazing guy behind Bob's Burgers and Archer, and everything. John Benjamin, yeah. So he played Dr. Katz's son in this thing. That's basically where he got his start. And this had a very like scratchy animation style, and it had the whole premise was they had comedians coming in to talk to this psychologist, and tell them about their problems, which was basically it was very fun. It was a way of them, basically doing their skit, and it was. And the Dr. Katz guy was just amazing as the foil for these people, and he, like you did your web like a video like series like of animation, and totally self-produced, like acted. You had other voice actors come in sometimes, I believe.
Yeah.
And you drew it, animated it, inspired by Dr. Katz. And he actually came along. And
together, that was the biggest inspiration. Probably was Dr. Katz. I love that show, and I'm sure very early on I ripped off a joke or two from there unintentionally. And Oscar ended up looking a lot like Ben Katz.
Ben, that's his name, Ben. And he came along and like favorited your work or something, didn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah, all of this is to say he left me a comment one time.
Oh my god, awesome. What did he say?
It's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was subscribed. He found me because I was subscribed to his YouTube, where they were doing a follow-up to Dr. Katz. And I think maybe, did he do another show? I don't remember, but they were doing one on YouTube, something bus, about these guys who managed musicians or something like that, and they traveled on a bus. And Jonathan Katz did one of the voices, and so I'm a huge fan of Dr. Katz, and Jonathan Katz I think is hilarious as a comedian. So yeah, I'm subscribed to them, and so that's how he knew about me, and he left me a comment. Said this is a great work or good job or something. It was awesome. Cloud 9 for me.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I'm just like floored by that because I watched that when it first came out, and oh my god, to have that kind of connection, wow, that is fucking.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Language.
He finally asked me to stop writing to him.
Jonathan,
no, I didn't want to overdo it. I kept it brief, man, but I was super excited. And I did hear a podcast or something somewhere earlier, like well before this comment was left, that he was obsessed with people who are subscribed to his YouTube channel. I guess there weren't a ton of us. So.
No.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Don't. No. Humbleness. This is. He liked you because you were fucking awesome. Oh my god, I keep swearing. It's not fair.
No, he was being very kind. That's not. I don't know if he went to all of his subscribers and whatever. But even if so, that's fine. Yeah, it was great.
That's amazing. Wow. Well, there we are. So, Baines, you got bad feedback and good feedback. It's the best feedback possible ever.
And that's why I'm 10 years later or whatever, I'm still doing comments because that one comment. That's all it takes.
Yeah. Excellent.
That's not true, but actually the comments are the reason I'm still doing it. I don't know if I would without them. Even just it's just enough to sort of make it kind of emotionally worthwhile, you know? When you don't get paid, like you guys were saying. It's like, you know, well, someone's reading it, some people are liking it. That's great. Yeah.
I think for my comics, like, because I did art many years. Like as a child, I did art, and then at university, I did art and art. So I had a bit of a thick skin when it came to comments, so no one could deter me from doing my comics. So I would always get lots of good comments. It's good feedback, but there were sometimes people would do negative stuff, and I just think rather than thinking that was me that was bad, I just think you're a dickhead. Go away.
That's the thing. I'm jealous now. Like I envy you. That's the healthy thing to do. That's how you should react.
Yeah, that's good boundaries, right? You have to have a thick skin and let things roll off you. You have developed psychological boundaries.
But
there.
it's not to be because I'm special or psychologically better or anything.
Oh, you're not.
It's just it's just because I've been doing it for so long, you know. So you develop a bit of whatchamacallit, like it's not self-esteem. It's like you have a bit too much inflated ego. So it can be that. So it works both ways. So people could like be giving you genuine kind of feedback to help you, but you'd still think, you're just a dickhead. Go away, you know? So it's not really such a positive thing, but it just protects you against the baddies, but it also like insulates you against the good stuff that would help you. So it makes it harder for you to accept helpful criticism. So
that's true.
There you go.
There is a balance to a degree. I think a lot of us have too thin-skinned, at least in certain areas. And some people can be too stubborn. I'm not saying you, but some people, can be too stubborn. It's like, oh, you're refusing help, and you're like not letting in the good stuff either. And so that can exist.
Exactly.
On the flip side, though, I think that if you give someone feedback in a way that isn't negative, chances are at least they are not going to tell you to go away. And and also there is another thing, like the artist might not be in a position where they can receive feedback at all, like, which is why, unsolicited feedback is something I don't like doing. Like, I will not just appear, pop up in someone.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure, I agree.
Yeah, comments or even private messages, and say, I noticed that you are not doing this very well. Ha ha ha! I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it well. That no.
That's hilarious. Please do that to everybody downtown on the side.
Now I want to get a comment like that from Tantz. Yeah.
I cannot do that. Sorry.
No, I don't.
But like, if I'm not gonna say anything if I don't see someone actually actively asking for some help or some feedback or some, I had trouble with this and I wish I knew how to do it better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we will be helpful, but not hurtful.
Yes.
This is the Quackcast number. Oh God, what was our number? In our Quackcast number is
Our
it
number
really
is
777? Is that the number? 777? Oh my God.
a nice number.
So bye bye, people. Bye bye.
Bye.